Working with Professor Brian Street in the last few years, we've been able to look at classroom language. Brian Street and I got a grant from the ESRC, the Research Council in our discipline, to investigate how language is used in academic contexts. And what we did was we spent about 9 months in school and in university. And we recorded lots and lots of lessons, lectures, seminars, workshops, and so on. And we also interview some of the teachers and some of the students. And what we're trying to get at is by looking at non-contrived, naturally occurring activities in school and university contexts. We wanted to identify, if you like, some of the salient features of the use of language. And of course, in this case, we're talking about English in different subject areas. Over the period, we collected lots and lots of video material, audio material, curriculum material. You know, we took pictures, we scanned copies of teaching materials and so on. And as a result, we got, you know, a vast amount of data. And you know, we've been working with this data in the last 2.5 years, and we are still continuing. And in our approach to this analysis, if you like, we adopted initially a kind of ethnographic perspective. In other words, we really wanted to get close to what people did and what people meant to do, instead of, if you like, setting up experimental conditions and trying to collect data when our participants you know, had been told to do certain things, and we wanted to, if you like, record the results. No, we didn't do any of that. We invited our participants, the students, the teachers, the lecturers, the professors, and so on, to do exactly as they would do under normal circumstances. And we made a record of what they did and tried to, if you like, understand what they did. What's been really interesting for us particularly is that because people were, if you like, behaving naturally, we are fairly confident that you know, our analysis is based on naturally happening activities. So the language, as a result of that, I'm very confident that we're looking at authentic language. And I think that's really important in our analysis. And so, you know, by, for example, looking at how students respond to teachers' instructions, and looking at how teachers tried, if you like, to respond to student questions, we've been able to get at some of the very intriguing ways of seeing how language communication and communication in general in a classroom now take place. One of the findings that we have come up with is that there is now a very, very intricate intertwining of language talk and digital technology in the form of, if you like, the use of the whiteboard, the use of the computer, using images and so on. And now talk, very often, both by the teacher and by the students, kind of orients towards the visual in the classroom. And although many of us know that, well, you know, these days we're inundated with smartphones and, you know, various digital platforms for communication and so on, but seeing it in the classroom gives us a completely different picture of how academic communication is done. And what counts as language competence, for example. Now, we believe that we must take into account this dimension of digital technology and the way that it is now used in our everyday communication in the academic context. And I think it's a really interesting part of our work.